Members, this is Chris Davenport with Today Lending. Wanted to go through the HUD 184 property requirements, what all we can do with the program, and some of the steps that we need to take with that. Now, I'm just going to say this as a given that the maximum loan limits don't change. So just make sure that whenever we get to the building section, that your loan amount doesn't exceed what the county limit is. And if you need to know what that is, feel free to email me at davenport@todaylending.com, or my direct line is 918-388-9719. The most typical way that people use this program is just buying a normal standard single family residence, a stick frame house. In regards to that, basically what we want it to be in is average condition. Everything's supposed to work. All of the coverings are supposed to be there. For example, carpet. If the carpet is missing, then we have to take additional steps to get that installed prior to closing. Or we can also have an escrow repair program where we can set those funds aside up to $5,000 for it to be completed after closing. Also, what we do are manufactured homes. They have to be a double wide, and they have to be set up on a permanent foundation. And I get this question quite a bit. What does that mean? Does that mean that if it's on blocks, it has to be tied down, etc.? Best way that I've come to explain it is whether it's sitting on piers or whether it's sitting on a stem wall, it needs to be on poured concrete. That's really the bottom line, and fastened to the ground in that case, or sometimes they're fastened to the piers or what have you. Depending upon what part of the country you are or what kind of ground you got, it's going to vary. But in order to do it, we do send out a local structural engineer to make it sure that it's set up to HUD guidelines. So if it has previously gone through an FHA loan, for example, or a VA loan, then I would say that it's most likely going to be able to go through this program. It usually doesn't change much, and we usually don't see people that move them and uninstall those permanent foundations. So that's just one thing to keep in mind with the program. Now, with it, as far as the appraisal is concerned, we will sign an appraiser that is close to you, or that's close into that market. What they are looking for are 3 comparable sales, and within the last 6 months, ideally within a square mile. Now, a lot of times that's not possible. Sometimes you're in rural areas, or maybe you have a new construction in an older part of a small community. There's all kinds of different variables where that might not be possible, and then we can expand out from there. The reason that I bring up the comparables on this program is it doesn't have any restrictions as far as what kind of property you can purchase. It really just wants it to be a modest home, something that's more standard. But there are log homes that are out there. There are metal built homes that are out there, and we can do those. But the catch is that we have to be able to justify the value with comparable sales, and ideally we would like 3 comparable sales within that area. If we can't find it, then sometimes we have to go back in time to look what's sold, if there was anything, or sometimes we have to expand our coverage area. But we really don't want to do that if we don't have to. But if that's what it is, that's what it is, and we'll deal with that. So those type of homes, a log home, a metal built home is available, but it's tricky. So ideally you want to, before attempting to purchase one of those, you would want to have your realtor look and see if there's comparable sales, and really do an analysis if um, that the property would pass and that we would be able to determine the value. Um, Now, also with the requirements, I touched on the um, the escrow holdback, where we can set aside $5,000 for repairs to the property. Now, that is not uncommon for us to do, especially in this day and age where there's foreclosures or people that are downsizing or what have you. They don't have a lot of money to put back into the property before they sell it. So if it needs carpet, if it needs a water heater, if it needs something, I'd like to say minor, or easily fixed, then we can put that in the escrow repair. Now, if it's something that it needs a new roof, or it needs heat and air, windows, full restoration, we do have a rehabilitation loan that we can work with to help you get into that home. Or if you already own the home, you can refinance and do the repairs, which is really nice. And all of the same parameters still apply. As I've talked about in the other videos, you just have to have 2.25% equity. If you're refinancing, if you're purchasing a home to rehabilitate it, still just 2.25% down, which is just amazing. Most conventional programs with construction loans want at least 20% down. So that allows you to keep your cash in hand. If need be, you can always do a principal reduction at the end of the loan, to pay off early or what have you. Now, in regards to the house, at the time of close or at the time of inspection, the appraiser has to be able to establish that the home has a heating source, that it does have a water source, and that there are no safety hazards. So if there's flaking paint on the exterior, that could get red flagged, but it's an easy fix. If it's a situation where there's a broken pane or a cracked glass window and that sort of thing, it's going to get flagged. It's going to have to be repaired. But on most programs, as long as it's stated, if there's a repair that's stated in the appraisal or something of concern for the appraisal, that's when we address it. We do not order additional inspections on the home. So whatever the appraiser notes is what we're going to go off of. The only inspection that would be required is, and this isn't true in all states. So, for example, Colorado, this is not the case, but we do request a wood destroying organism report. Now, if the home is on city sewer, city water, we don't have any additional requirements, that we don't need additional inspections to satisfy that. But if the home is on a septic system, or if the home is on rural well water, then additional inspections will be required. We will require that the water, if it's the well, that the water quality tests come back clear. You'll just have to do that through your local agency there. And then with the septic, really most companies that service those will be able to inspect the walls of the septic system to make sure that there's no leaks apparent. Great. Well, that's really it in a nutshell in regards to property requirements. I hope that I was helpful with this, but if you have any questions, please give us a call. The main company line is 918-582-7283. If you're calling in from out of state, 877-863-2901 is our toll-free number, and you can email us at davenport@todaylending.com. And if you got any questions, you can text, you can call, email, whatever is comfortable. If you just have a quick question, we'd be happy to answer that. Have a great day.